The Ron G Morning Show, every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. only on WSAN Radio, the soul of America. All right, today we are featuring Vivian and Christopher Johnson, and founders of Johnson Joint Foods. The family-centered brand is built on flavor, culture, and tradition, offering signature products like their sweet heat finishing sauce. I'm saying that because I tried that the first day. Yo, I broke that bottle out. And I was telling everybody that I bought another bottle because I thought the first one was gone. But my wife put it in the refrigerator where I couldn't find it. So later on, I did some ribs. I said, still putting barbecue sauce on. Let me try putting this on there.
Absolutely.
That was the best thing I could have done. Even my wife said, "This is good." I said, "I know." So Christopher, meeting your wife there at A Chicago Bite for rebuilding Black Wall Street one vendor at a time was a real treat. She was not shy. She was outspoken. And she told me,
Really?
you better put this on this fish when you get some fish. No, she didn't say that, but my version sounds so much better. So let me stop and y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Well, I'm Christopher Johnson.
And I'm Vivian Johnson. And we're Johnson's Joint. Well, we call us Johnson Joint. That includes our two sons, Chris and Christian. We all are as a family unit. That's what we've always referred to our family unit as Johnson's Joint. So,
okay. Well, tell us about. Let me see. How can I put this? Vivian and Chris, tell us what goes on behind the scene. No, first of all, let's get started on how you first started doing it. Did it start off with food? Did it start off with? How did y'all get this business idea going?
Well, we always have loved to cook together. Since we've been together, we've always enjoyed being in the kitchen. Our family enjoys cooking. We created the first recipe that would become Sweet Heat in 2011. It was just the recipe we came up with, and we started utilizing it in our just food at home. It wasn't anything that we anticipated would be a business. It's just something we enjoyed having on our food. And then our Caribbean Heat seasoning blend, we kind of created the original recipe for that in 2013. So they've been a long time in the making. And we just utilize them in all our recipes for family events and cookouts, camping. And I don't think we actually just had the idea to do it as a business until 2016.
Yeah,
I believe was the first time that we were like, you know what, we should get this stuff bottled. But it was a long process, and we actually didn't. We started the process over and over many times, and then we'd stop and get discouraged. And then finally in 2025, the beginning of last year, we were like, you know what, we need to finally get this done. Like, this needs to be our Christmas present to each other. Let's not worry about Christmas gifts. Let's hunker down. And this year, let's just get this done for Christmas. And December 22nd is when we picked up our first production run. So we made our Christmas deadline to each other. So it was a good Christmas.
So where's your product sold at?
Right now, so these are the two products. We have our Sweet Heat finishing sauce and our Caribbean Heat seasoning blend. Right now, we sell them at different farmers markets that we go to. We also have our website, which is www.johnsonsjoint.com, and in person in San Antonio at the Buckhorn Museum downtown on East Houston Street. They sell it in their gift shop. So.
Ooh. Now, the only thing I didn't get is that your Caribbean Heat. I haven't got that yet, seasoning, but I'm definitely going to get that.
Oh, man, you're missing out.
Well, she wasn't a good salesperson to sell that to me. I was too busy worried about the sauce.
Well, it's a very unique blend when you combine both of them together.
The
It's like
sauce and the seasoning.
it's just
Mhm.
perfect.
See, so I'm gonna have to hunt y'all down and get me some of that.
Well, I'll be at Chicago by on the 25th.
Oh, okay. I don't have to wait too long then.
No,
So
not
I
at
got a
all.
question. I got a question to ask y'all. How do you come up with? I love the sweet heat, but the last two words, that finishing sauce. How do you come up with finishing sauce, and what does that mean, finishing, when it's done or what?
So for us, it's it's in a category by itself. Like it's not a barbecue sauce, it's not a ketchup, it's not, a
Salsa.
salsa. It's kind of in a category on its own. So it was kind of hard for us to figure out how we wanted to label it because we, love the sweet heat, but how do we kind of let people know what it is, how, it's used. So we came up with finishing sauce because it's best used. It's not really like a marinade, although some people do use it as such.
Yeah.
For us, it's just best used at the end of the cooking process. So for us, that label just fit best, like to let people know how it should be used. At the
You know,
end, when it's finished, then you put it on your food. So
I didn't do that. I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you. Well, see, first of all, we did some wings on the flats. And my wife
okay,
always get that sweet and sour sauce. She tried that and she loved it. So,
awesome.
what I did with my ribs, the last half hour it being out there, I put your sauce on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and then I wrapped it up in aluminum foil and let it sit there for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And when I brought it in there, it had that different aroma with it.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yes.
so as I'm cutting the ribs up, so I have it, I just tasted one rib, then two ribs before we even sat down. I ate two before I said it was that good. And I just sat back and said, I could brag about this. I tasted it.
Thank you. We
So
appreciate
it
that.
definitely is. So let me ask you something. Um, how important is family to identity of your brand?
It's
Oh man, it's
everything.
everything. That's why it's in the name. Again, Johnson Joint is a way we describe our family unit. So it's like, instead of calling it something else, let's call it what it is. This is from our kitchen to yours. This is, now you're part of our family. You get to see what it's like to eat with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we take great pride in it. And, that's kind of what gave us the confidence to create this brand as well. Like our family encouraging us, our family pushing us, like, when are you going to get this done? Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all need to get this bottled. Like, what are y'all
Oh
waiting
yeah.
on? So the push from our family, the support of our family, and just the love of our family. So it's all
So
very important.
so what makes your product different from others on the market?
Well, number one, it's
The flavor.
flavor that it's just a different flavor profile that,
Oh yeah.
when we walk down the shelves of or down the aisles of HEB or Walmart or whatever, we don't see anything like our product. Like I said, it's not a salsa, barbecue sauce, uh I don't know what other kind of sauces they have on the shelves, but there's literally nothing like our product. Even though our product is like a sweet tangy, you can't even compare it to a sweet and sour sauce. It's literally a different flavor than what you see on shelves. Even our seasoning blend, you don't have anything like it. But if you use it, you're like, oh, this is good. I gotta use this.
Hmm.
Um,
And on top of that, the biggest thing is that they complement each other. Like
mhm.
there's not combating flavors. When you combine both of them, it like this really, really makes sense and it pops. So I think that's what really stands us apart from a lot of the other products that's out there.
Now, are y'all from Texas?
No.
No. So the our journey to Texas was roughly 23 years ago, when we visited Texas for our first time. But we're originally from Rochester, New York, which is Western New York near Buffalo, about an hour away.
Hmm. Y'all get all that
And
snow off the lake.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Now you see
Which
why.
illness?
Well, I'm from Chicago, so I know the reason why. Because when the
Yeah.
wind switch,
Illness.
we're within 3 miles, and we stay within 3 miles of the lake. We got drenched with heavy snow.
Oh yeah, where we're from, it's like in the top 10 snowiest cities in America. So
Wow!
yeah,
Now you move down here to the hottest part of the country.
Which I don't complain about that.
it's
But
definitely a big contrast for sure.
So have that business journey influenced you more to come up with this recipe?
Well, it showed us that there's definitely a market for our sauce and our
Mhm.
seasoning. Um, because throughout our journeys, like I'm gonna be totally honest, we drive from here to New York and New York back. Like, so we get to see what other states are, we get to enjoy the foods from other states, and see what they have available. And along our journey through the 7 states and others, we just noticed that there's just nothing like it. Like, we literally will look at let's just say our seasoning blend is akin to sort of like a jerk. However, the seasoning blend has like a more robust flavor in my eyes. It has a more robust and not as much heat as like a jerk seasoning. So when we are traveling, we will go to different stores, different restaurants, and we'll try their products and then compare it. And for us, ours, a bit more savory, um, and more palatable, because it lacks the heat. Like, we have a kick, but we don't have that lasting burn in the back of your throat that
Hmm.
a lot of places have.
Yeah, the heat is the after profile, not the forward profile, essentially.
So when you go
Uh,
to other places, do you sneak a little portion of your sauce to put on the food?
oh, absolutely.
Well, um, we try not to disrespect anybody's business, and
Yeah.
what we would like is for especially up and coming businesses to actually give our products a try to see, to compare it to what they already have, um, to see how the people will like it. We don't want to come in and like, hey, try our stuff here, put it on their counter or anything like
But
that.
not even to compare, just to complement what they're already selling.
Okay.
Like, for one of the things for us, especially with the sweet heat, what we noticed, because it's great on like steak subs or wings, ribs, burgers. A lot of times, like for instance, if you go get a Philly steak sub somewhere, they don't really have a sauce with it, so it's kind of dry. The only sauce that they could probably offer is like a barbecue sauce, which
Yeah.
to us isn't the best flavor profile that goes with a Philly sub one for us. Um, so like if you have a sandwich restaurant, like, offers Johnson's Joint, because it's just the perfect complement. And our slogan is the flavor you didn't know you needed, because so many people, they don't know what they're missing because they're used to the status quo. So
Yeah,
And
so
you
we're pretty much inviting everyone's taste buds to try. That's right.
I think I'm gonna try the next time I smoke a brisket. I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
try
that'd be
that
good.
and see how it
I
is.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the sauce on like a little smash burger. Like, I don't know if you
Mhm.
Oh.
eat. Listen, it's amazing on a smash burger.
Mm.
So
See, here it is, 10 something in the morning. You got me hungry already. And I got some of that sauce here, so it won't take long for me to whip up anything.
That's right.
So,
And it
exactly.
makes it easy. That's the other thing.
yeah.
We've had so many people that we've encouraged to try it, and they're like, "Well, I don't even cook," and it's like, I wouldn't even know what to do because I don't cook. So that's why it makes it so easy. You don't have to think about it. All the seasonings, it's like an all-purpose. We don't advertise it
Mm.
as it, but it pretty much can be an all-purpose seasoning. You don't have to think too much. You just put that on there and on your meat or seafood, and you already have a flavorful dish without even having to
Mm.
think about it. So
Wow. So let me ask something. What has been one of the biggest lessons you learned as being an entrepreneur?
It's nothing comes easy. That's like one of the biggest things, because again, our journey was years and years ago. And the one thing is, you know, we don't really talk about the research and development of things, but man, for us to get the sauce to where it's palatable for the masses was kind of hard, because we had to realize that, hey, our taste buds isn't necessarily, you know, made for everyone else, right? So we had to tweak it and try it. Like, I remember at one point we had she had a company function, and our original recipe was spicy
On the seasoning blend.
on the seasoning blend. So when
it was flavorful,
it was
but
flavorful.
it had more spice to it. So we did ribs, and we had made it with the seasoning blend in the sauce, and we brought it, and everybody loved the ribs, but you're seeing them like, this is so good.
Nose running, and they're so
running. They're like, it's hot, but it's so good, I can't stop eating it. And you know, so we loved the compliment, but we were like, we want people to actually enjoy it. I mean, they were enjoying it, but we wanted them to not, you know, have to choose between.
Well, that's right up my alley. I like hot food.
Yeah, so many people though are scared of spice, so that's why that was another factor for us to like dial back the heat some on this one, and maybe down the road, you know, maybe we'll bring that original recipe with the spice, because like I said, the flavor was still there. It just was, you know, too forward with the
forward. I like that, too forward.
Yeah. Too much.
I have a question right here from one of the listeners. They're asking, how long did it take you to come up with that sauce blend?
So like I said, we came up with the original recipe. It's changed throughout the years before we got here. But the original idea for the sauce came out in 2011. The original idea for the seasoning blend came out in 2013. And then that was one of our other struggles, because, you know, we cook from the soul. We didn't measure things. We just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We knew the ingredients, but we didn't really have the recipe. So when we finally decided in 2016 that we should probably make this as a business, our first order of business was to come up with a standardized recipe, like to actually measure things instead of going from the heart. So
and that was definitely hard.
It was hard, because we're just like, you know,
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
When to stop. So we had to hunker down and literally measure, and then it's like, okay, do we need a little bit more of this? And you can change so many different variables. So that I have literally notebooks of the different recipes as we were trying to dial it down and really figure out, because you have to, it's not measuring by cups, you know, measuring cups, you have to actually weigh it on a scale. That's the most accurate way. So
yeah,
we have notebooks, and we actually, as a family, our Johnson's joint unit with our kids did taste testing. I made like 4 or 5 different recipes, and then we blindly, I had them labeled A, B, C, D, and then we had different categories: color, taste, texture, consistency, smell, and then we blindly tasted them and literally voted, like just us 4, our Johnson's joint unit. Like this was years ago. So that was one part of it. When we actually started working with a co-packer, that took our measurements to a different, because you had to scale the recipe. So with scaling, that changes the consistency of everything too. So our recipe had to be tweaked again, you know, for co-packing. So
and that
it's been a long journey.
I would say that part right there is very expensive, especially because when you're thinking of, they're creating test batches. So they create this big test batch, you get to test the product, and then you're like, no, this isn't it. Send it back. Why don't we tweak this? So the process itself is about a year long just to get the recipe to where it is today.
Yes, you know, I'm glad. I think 6 different test batches with the co-packer before we got to a recipe that we were happy with to present. And each test batch is a different invoice.
Yes.
They're not doing it for free.
Yeah.
So
Very.
I believe it. I'm glad you shared that with us because a lot of people think you come to a product, put it out there, but there's a lot of things that goes on behind the scene to get the finished product.
oh
All
yeah,
they see is the finished product, but they don't see what it took to get it. Like you said, the
exactly.
test batches, and it's not free.
No,
So,
No.
no,
so
no.
No.
you go through that process till you come up with one. I want to go back on something you said on how y'all did it in the beginning. You little this, little this. Well, I was brought up around my grandmother. She never measured anything, and
Hmm.
I got the cooking tips from her. And yet to this day, I never measure anything, but it comes out consistently the same.
Right.
Mhm.
So I know what you mean by that because when you start going to production, you got to know exactly how much is this, how much this, how much is this. Now, when you start doing it, did you thought it was going to be like, man, now I got to sample, get this weighed right? And like you said, it's go by weight, not by 1 teaspoon here and teaspoon there. So why does it go by weight?
It goes by weight because it's the most accurate way to measure things. If you do it by volume, well, first of all measuring devices are not created equal. So, 1 teaspoon is not the same. You know, 1 teaspoon is not the same across the board. If I get measuring a spoon from Walmart or HEB or a different brand, there's little variances.
Hmm.
And when you're making a single batch for your household, for your family, those little variances don't mean much. But when you're scaling to 60 gallons, 100 gallons, it
Mhm.
makes a huge difference because over the time, the little variance in a teaspoon
Add
can
up.
eat up, can add up to a
Yeah.
cup, an additional cup or less, you know.
And that throws the whole flavor
Hmm.
off completely.
Yeah. So
So when you come up
that
with
was,
so when you come up with the right weight on all the ingredients, and I guess somebody, either you or somebody there, the place that's making the batches for you, calculate how much they need to make, let's say, a
Yes.
thousand bottles.
exactly.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. I'm learning something new every day. I'm not going to start anything. I'm already doing this. I'm not going to start. I just piggyback off y'all buying y'all ingredients and enhancing my flavor that away. That's what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
doing.
Right.
Yes. Well, creating sauces has been in my family. Like my grandmother has a barbecue recipe, which my father also used to cook, and they used to always be encouraged to get it bottled, but they were so discouraged for the same reason. They're used to just mixing this and that together, and it always comes out great, and everybody loves it. But getting down to the nitty gritty of exactly what's going in there and by weight, and that's just something that they just didn't know. And it's like you don't know the process because you don't have anybody to teach you. You don't know how to start. You don't know where to start. It's
Yeah.
kind of daunting because we've definitely had our struggles with that, not knowing
Yes.
where to turn and not knowing where to start. uh, so yeah, we're very proud that we were able to accomplish something that has been in my family desires for a long time. So
Well, good. So, what do you want customers to feel when they try your Johnson Joint products?
I want them to feel joy. I don't know about you guys, but when, excuse me, when I taste food that's really good, I do a
She
little dance.
dance. She dances all the
I
time.
do a little dance. So I want people to have that feel when they eat, like, "Ooh, this is
Mhm.
good,"
And mind you, and a large part of that is because when we have our family gatherings, it's almost like the food correlates with music. So the music is
Yeah.
always playing in the background, and
Even while we're cooking.
yeah, it's a joyful
That's
moment.
what we do. And that kind of, going back to why we're
Oh,
Johnson's Joint.
yes.
Um, so my absolute favorite painting ever is The Sugar Shack, and by Ernie Barnes. And it's just demonstrates everything that's fun and relates to our family. You know, it's the meeting spot. It's where everybody goes to have fun. It's music playing. It's fun, you know, games. It's, you know, music, dancing, fun, family. So that's kind of where Johnson's Joint comes from. It's like a juke joint.
Right. And also it's in the design in the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take a look at the bottle, you'll see that this right here is a jukebox.
It's old jukebox, yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's all there. It all makes sense.
Okay. So now, what is next for Vivian, Christopher Johnson, and Johnson Joint Foods?
Well, right now, what we're really trying to focus on is getting it to as many people as possible. But we want to show individuals how to apply it. So what we're looking for is joint ventures with individuals who have like restaurants, different stores who are willing to take a chance with us just to see if our products can fit what they already have going.
Okay, yeah.
So we're just pushing our Sweet Heat finishing sauce, doing as many vendor events as we can do, encouraging people to, you know, support from, you know, the Buckhorn gift shop or from our website. We do have some ideas for additional sauces and seasonings that we want to work on down the road as well. So
very unique sauces and seasonings. I just have to say that.
Yeah, and that's good. All right. In closing, tell everybody where they can find you at, how can they order, and any place you're going to be at in the next month or so people come see you.
Okay. So obviously our website, www.johnsonsjoint.com. You can easily purchase on there and we ship very quickly. If you're in San Antonio, please visit the Buckhorn Museum on 318 East Houston Street down on the Riverwalk. They sell it in their gift shop. My next vendor events, I'll be at a Chicago Bite on April 25th. I'll be at the Juneteenth block party on June 20th. So that's right now in the books.
And also we are located on Facebook as well. And we also encourage anyone who has actually purchased anything. We will ask them to share their experience on Facebook. We have a lot of individuals who have utilized the seasoning and the finishing sauce and put up their recipes right there on the Facebook.
Well, mine be on there. I'll wait till I get the seasoning before I do anything, because I'm gonna try that seasoning. I'm gonna try that seasoning on my next brisket that I do.
All right.
That's gonna be amazing.
That's what I'm gonna do, because I was impressed with the ribs. I said, man, and like you said, sometimes you get up and you have a happy dance, as they say. When I ate those ribs, I just said, Excuse me, I said, damn, these ribs are good. my wife looked at me. She said, well, oh, baby, this is good. It was nice and tender. Ribs nice and everything. It just hit everything at once. And it was, see, I got to go fire my pit again and do it all over again.
Well, you know, don't be afraid to invite us over.
Okay. Look at that invitation right there. I love it. I love it. Well, Vivian and Chris, I appreciate y'all coming on the show today, explain everything to you. I will have this edited. I'll send you a copy. You can use it however you want to use it.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
All right. Y'all take care.
Have a good one. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to WSAN Radio. Catch us on our YouTube channel, WSAN Radio SA. Subscribe to our channel and hit that notification button.